Cats can have a little salami as a treat.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today we're having a snack with the cat, Ygra, eater of all. This hungry kitty cat is here to consume all the food in the battlefield, growing bigger each time a food is put into graveyard, and turning all creatures into food. Except for, of course, herself. She is the apex predator. Ygra is a really cool card. You have this huge Golgari creature that rewards you for sacrificing creatures and forcing your opponent to lose their creatures, whether it's through small board wipes like Meat Hook Massacre, or big board wipes that destroy everything except for Ygra, like Fade from History and Season of Gathering. If you can force your opponent to lose all their artifacts, then all of their creatures are going to go straight to the grave, giving you a big kitty cat. This deck is also playing lots of good Golgari synergy, playing various sacrificables and sacrificers, as well as some sacrifice combos. We have things like Experimental Confectioner and Camellia, which both make creature tokens when you sacrifice a food, which allows you to then, because your creatures are food, make another one and another one and another one, allowing you to drain your opponent for life with something like Blood Artist, or just make a gigantic Ygra, or maybe draw cards off Yawgmoth. Because we have so much good removal that's built into the sacrifice theme, you don't even need to play that many pieces of just direct removal. But since you're in Golgari colors, you may as well play some fun ones that can destroy non-land permanents, or ones that specifically destroy artifacts, since we're turning things into artifacts. It's also just a great way to slow your opponent down by taking out their mana rocks and preventing them from getting out of hand too early in the game. This is a super fun deck to play, as you'll see in the video, so we're going to take Ygra into the queue, and we're going to have ourselves a little snack. Chasm, Deepest Growth. I have 2 mana reanimate on a Bloodghast here, but I think I'm going to need something that's a little bit more either rampy or responsive to deal with the ramp and the big creatures being cheated into play that they're going to have off Chasm. I like this. I have sacrificables, I have sacrificing, some removal. All cards that I like to have. I'll start with this, coming in tapped. A forest. And a fairy. This deck is oftentimes got the strategy of playing lots and lots of early ramp, and then having lots of really big creatures that you try to cheat into play by just dealing combat damage to your opponent. I feel like I don't really need to throw down that Plague Crafter there, though I do have a reanimate. It would make them discard. You know what? I'm willing to do this. I'm going to Plague Crafter here, dropping my Fairy Rogue to make them discard. And they dropped an Old Growth Troll. I could use an Old Growth Troll. Somberweld Sage. Ooh, that is ramp. That's a scary bit of ramp there. I have choice between, like, ramp and remove, so I can get Ygra out. I'm just gonna Baleful Mastery this. And we have a couple, like, spot removals here. It'd be very helpful to have. Alright. Landlord Loam Speaker. They could probably get the Chasm out next turn anyway. Ooh, Grief. It's a good Grief. Trying to decide if I want the Old Growth Troll or if I want to save this for, like, Ygra and Grief. Give me the Troll. Yeah! This is mine now. I brought this from home. I don't have any forests, do I? Oh, no, I do! I was gonna say, do I have any basic forests right now? I do. I do have one. So they're paying 1 to get another 1 mana. Silverback Elder! He can destroy what he loves, which is artifacts and enchantments. If I turn everything into an artifact and enchantment, that gets extra silly. Yeah. Ygra! I want them to destroy Plague Crafter, especially, like, once we have 1 mana up. Oh, Titan of Industry. Yeah, you can destroy so many different things. You can destroy Bitter Blossom. So vanilla. Now what do you want to destroy, huh? The Troll. The Signet. Plague Crafter. You got so many choices of delicious food. By the way, you're an artifact, too. Don't you want to destroy yourself? No? Doesn't even want to destroy themselves. What's the point if you're not fully self-sacrificial? This has reach, but I'm very fine with that. I'm going to swing in with you, and you. Okay. I'm going to... Okay, we have to do this in order. Choose creature, lose 2 life, pay a black, spell resolves, eat the man, pay the 2, Ygra grows. Then they have to sacrifice. I also have to sacrifice. I'll sacrifice one of the attacking fairy rogues. Chunky. So we just get through that shield there. Here comes Chasm. Who you blasting? If you want my life total to get super low, they could hit this old growth troll and swing in. But that also means that Ygra's going to be able to attack. And just, like, I guess we'll get blocked by this and maybe they'll flip it over. Do you want to leave these back? Maybe attack with just the Titan? So this now taps for 2 mana. I was about to say, all we need is 1 more land. We're good. I'm gonna cat on this. Actually, wait, because this should be the game-ending move. I'm going to name... I wish we could do Gamer and Clown in Arena, because those are pretty good. Ooh, Tentacle. That's fun. So we're going to destroy all artifacts, and then I want to draw, like, 20 cards, because it's fun. Destroy all artifacts. Draw some number of cards. Sand is good, too. I like... If our opponent was dishonorable, Coward is also nice. They were not. They're playing just fine. Swing in with Ygra and end the game. GG, O'Hara Chasm. Flubs, the Fool. I also made a Flubs deck recently. It's very fun. Very funny. Flubs is a sort of deck that can be very powerful, but can also just kind of be silly. And I love that about Flubs. Flubs is just out here doing Flubs things. Discarding cards, casting lots of spells, and getting lots of lands in play. Flubs, the way I built it, was mostly landfall, but you can also build Flubs as a bit more of a storm commander, because you can really start unloading your deck if you have enough mana, if you have enough things, or if you just have enough 0 cost or 1 cost spells and ways to generate more mana as you're casting them. Is there madness in these colors? There's a little bit of madness, like cards that when you discard them, you can cast them for a special cost. There's not that many, though. So unfortunately, if you're thinking like, oh, Flubs is out here being crazy, so strong, Flubs is doing some cool stuff. I think I know what I want. I think I want to set up for an Ygra Fade from History, where we just, like, Exodia obliterate everything, make a giant cat, and then swing in. You can use Impulse Draw. Yeah, lots of playing from Exile. It looks like this person's also playing some Adventures, because they go outside of your hand to play later. Hidden Tech. I think this is the kind of card that you should absolutely put in your Ygra deck. Especially because it makes the bears and destroys the bears. Oh, the Hobbit is exploring. Hi, Nadu. What Nadu does well in flubs is plays nicely with a bunch of the zero-cost artifacts, because there's a bunch of zero-cost equipment you can throw into the deck. Ooh, there's Spelunkin! I'm gonna go ahead and munch up the Nadu. Play Ygra. Everybody is food. Hello, little hobbit. Would you like to be consumed? It's okay, this is a vor-friendly space. Oh, yeah, they're gummy yummy rats. You want to play flubs? You have a lot of cards in hand for flubs. Oh, they're also foretelling things to get them out of their hand. All right. I don't think that I need to fade from history yet, especially since I'm able to just kind of swing in here. So I'm going to bring out... I don't have a sacrifice outlet yet. So I'm going to go for Smeagol. I'm going to eat one of the gummy rats. This makes Ygra much stronger. You get another yummy rat. And this way Smeagol will trigger at the end of the turn. Wait a minute. Yeah, that works. Who's my ring bearer? Lord Skitter is the Lord of the Rings. Cool Mountain. Did they add the Enchantress Cascade Wolf to Arena? No, Flubs is the only, like, commander that's new that's from the commander set. Now, there's, like, a couple legendary creatures and planeswalkers that were part of the Imagine Critters that they added in, but they're all, like, existing cards. Some of them are new to Arena, though, but the pre-con commanders didn't come in. Flubs was the buy a box promo. Oh, it's Flubs time! You have 2 life left. They discard. They get a treasure. They have 1 life left because that was a mana confluence. Okay, Ugin's Conjurant, another 0-cost spell. Ygra says, tasty. Crush the Weak. They get exiled. They don't get consumed. Okay, Flubs is storming. The storm has ended. Yum, yum, yum. You dead? Oh yeah, they're dead. They did have an Elrond's Epiphany. GG, Flubs. There's no fooling you. Roxanne Starfall's Savant. She's throwing rocks at all of our creatures. She also rocks because she's really good at ramping, at destroying things. She's generally a very, very strong creature. I have 2 board wipes in this hand. I have a little bit of 1-for-1 removal as well with this Accursed Marauder, so I don't think this is a bad hand to start with. And they've got a Utopia Sprawl to start that's going to get them some ramp. Yeah, typically it's ramp into all the big gruel stuff that you could ever want. Which, well, hopefully we can go toe-to-toe with some big gruel stuff. Do I think my opponent likes Yargle? Let's see, they've got Yargle sleeves. They've got Yargle profile picture. If only they had Yargle lands. Oh, a Jarsel. Lets them strike it rich again. Something really weird about Jarsel is that he doesn't actually exile the cards from graveyard. Such a strange dude. Anyway, they're gonna have so much mana next turn. Okay, Camellia. Camellia, if I have a sacrifice outlet, and I do, has a potential loop. And we have a way to make that loop kill our opponent. So, yeah, we're gonna go for this. Our Cursed Marauder. Just kill that Jarsel. Oh, I should explain the loop rather than just saying I have it. Ygra turns everything into food. Yes? Great. Whenever we sacrifice a food, we get a squirrel, which is also a food. If I have a way to sacrifice those on demand, then I'm going to sacrifice a food, which is a squirrel, to get another squirrel, which is a food. And by doing that, with Ygra out and something like Meat Hook Massacre, I can drain my opponent 1 life by 1 life, though it's also going to be draining me if I have Warren Soul Trader, since you have to pay life for that. Roxanne, I'm gonna go ahead and fire off this Deluge. Even though she has refunded some of her cost, they won't be able to play her next turn. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6 mana. You're giving me the snoozles, bro. You're the one who's killing my stuff with Roxanne. If Roxanne did not just, like, kill my creatures on demand, I would be a little less worried. Husky, now that's a proper squirrel. We love a good squirrel here. It's also a squirrel that dies to Meat Hook Massacre. And yes, I know, I'm just firing off removal, and a lot of this is because Roxanne so good at killing my stuff. I feel like there's such a big chance that they're gonna, like, pop down a Panharmonicon, and then suddenly those rocks deal 4 damage instead of just 2. It's the struggle. You know, you could use your Tireless Provisioner to make food, so you don't have to sacrifice creatures to get through Ygra's ward. A haste enabler. Yeah, so like a haste enabler as well with Roxanne means throwing more food at a time. I don't know why you're sassing me. Howdy. You're playing a really, really strong commander. Do you not, like... I can't even block her without killing Ygra here. I'm fully prepared to take a lot of very brutal damage. Yeah, Roxanne is one of the strongest Thunder Junction commanders. Refunds part of her mana cost, deals damage. She's really the whole package. And as I said before, I don't have a life gain piece here. So I can't go for the Camellia or in Soul Trader. Just food, 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 food. We have ourselves a Restless Cottage. That's always fun. And it's like, why did you kill the Toski? Because it's Toski? Because if I blocked it with something, then you'd deal 2 damage to whatever blocked and killed it. If only this were the regular Meat Hook Massacre. Where are you tossing that rock? Right at my face. So reminder, if Roxanne gets played again, she's going to be able to deal more damage. So we can't kill her on these blocks. But we can kill something else. So we're going to go to blockers. They have enough mana to pump up Rada. That is something very notable. We're going to go here, here. Actually... because they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I can sacrifice 1 thing here. And I'd like Ygra to live. Yeah, this cuts us off from the combo. That's fine. I can sacrifice 1 of these, probably the Ophiomancer, in order to get a treasure. It brings me to 1. I think the difference between 1 and 0 life here is pretty negligible. Yeah, and since they can pump up Rada, that's why, like, I'm not gonna block with Ygra. This kills the Tireless Provisioner. So now we have a nice, big, Ygra. You have tons and tons of mana, though. All they have to do is attack once more with Roxanne. Number go down. And sadly, it cuts us off from doing that sweet, sweet squirrel time. Eat up Tusky. That makes me a food. We eat the food. We kill the Roxanne. Because that's 18 plus 4. 22. Out of here, Roxanne. Sassing me with your emotes. Bristly Bill, Spine Sower. Bristly Bill is a mono-green landfall scales commander, getting you lots and lots of huge creatures very quickly, because Bristly Bill can double the number of +1/+1 counters on creatures you control for only 5 mana. And since he only costs 2 and he's putting lots of things, oh my gosh, so he's actually going to be putting 2 +1/+1 counters for each of those little activations, things are going to get big fast. I could definitely set up for that Murderous Rider. I'm going to wait a turn here. Just get down this land. So we have a little ramp. We have a little drain. Twitch is recommending parental controls for my stream. What does that mean? Are you managing adult content? What's happening? I'll get a one-off double black there. Am I PG-13? Sometimes I am. I won't question what Twitch thinks of me.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
I'll just drain my opponent's life. Bristly Bill's now in play. Any landfall will get them some sweet, sweet counters. Ooh, Accursed Marauder seems like a great way to just get rid of Bill. I could also play Ygra here, but I think that that's riskier. Making them drop that means that they're just gonna leave. They're only getting one creature out at a time, and getting down that early Liliana made a huge difference. GG, Bristly Bill. Sauron the Dark Lord. Sauron the Dark Lord is usually a Grixis control, or in a mass Tempted by the Ring kind of funky little deck. Looking at what I got here, it's kind of a slow start against what I expect them to be playing. We have a part of a combo piece, but I'm gonna mulligan, looking for a little bit more like protection ramp, more lands. This is nice. We actually have a new piece of ramp. For anybody who's wondering, Amy, why are you running Tender Wild Guide as one of your mana dorks in this deck over, say, just like an Elvish Mystic, another 1-mana one? The answer is this one can grow, and if I have extra mana, it can become 2 creatures, which are nice and sacrificable, because sometimes you just want more little goodies to throw in the meat grinder. The cruel truth. The cruel, cruel truth. I know! It's 2 food for the price of 1! Or it can just be like a little mana dork. Look how cute it is! Oh my gosh, I love this card. Sometimes you just gotta eat the baby. Oh, they ate the baby. Okay, Saturn. Sauron's Ransom. Okay, so I'm gonna give them the face down pile of Tasha and Sant coming. So they'll probably think those are 2 lands. Yeah, they're definitely a just Grixis control deck. Good. I didn't want them being able to steal my reanimation. Alright, so based on the cards that they have, they've already used an Edict. I think I'm pretty safe to just turbo ramp into Ygra here. Let that ward protect me. The good ward. Arcane Signet. And they are solving the equation, probably tutoring for another Edict. Or maybe just a board wipe. Could be the like the evidence one. Okay, River's Rebuke. River's Rebuke, as it stands, like, I think Pest Infestation on this is pretty good. Since it keeps them off of the Rebuke, specifically next turn. Bringing them down to 17. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I fade. If they play an artifact, or if they play a creature, Fade might bring us to lethal. What if no signets? Alright, so this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus 6. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so we fade from history. Ygra grows. Swinging for 18. And that's game. Easy peasy does it. Amalia Benavides Aguirre. Amalia is a life gain commander. Whenever you gain life, she explores, either getting a +1/+1 counter and getting the choice of keeping a card on top of the deck or putting in the graveyard, or she just puts a land into hand. Those are both pretty sweet. I don't have like the lands I really want to be accelerating here, so let's take a look at their hand. Turn 1, okay, a Blight Priest, a Heliod. I'm gonna drop Heliod. Blight Priest is still pretty cool though, as a way to just drain me while Amalia's growing and growing and growing. We ramp and get a nice sacrificable creature. A nice bunchable Kami of Bamboo Groves. This is not a ramp deck, but like, we're in green, and having a creature that does something when it enters the battlefield and then can be eaten later is really nice. Did they fix the graveyard bug? I think they may have. So we know they have a Gix's Command, but they're also really far from being able to cast it. Gix's Command will be able to make me sacrifice my Ygra, and I accept this. Alright, Ygra. Oh! They ate Amalia! Okay, fine. Ygra has died. Hopefully we can get Ygra back out next turn, using this extra mana from this Tireless Provisioner. Tireless Provisioner can also make food for us if we're, like, trying to do food things. Alright, let me see. Ah, I can access my opponent's graveyard when I don't have priority. They fixed the bug. Aw, Provisioner is gone. They're now only 1 mana away from the Gix's Command, which makes playing Ygra, unfortunately, a lot worse, because this would just straight up be a board wipe, destroy all things with 2 less, and then make me sacrifice the biggest thing. I kind of actually like playing the Great Henge here, since, as far as I can see, they do not have any artifact removal. And yeah, they'll get to swing with the Preacher. And that's fine. It's a good preachy-creachy, and now we'll have some card advantage. Oh yeah, there's another cat that has black and green in its color identity that I am a fan of, to answer the person in chat. I love Lord Windgrace. I have a Lord Windgrace, the Planeswalker Commander's deck, that ever since I got the Precon, I just keep updating that deck. And sometimes the deck gets good. Oftentimes the deck just gets silly. Here, have an Ygra. That's actually perfect. A Malakir Rebirth. if they make me sacrifice this, I can make it come back. I've had some people ask, like, oh, well, why don't I see you playing your Lord Winggrace deck on more Commander shows? I've played it on some, and the answer is unfortunately, well, you see, there's this little thing called game actions and taking too many of them. And unfortunately, it is a deck that takes a lot of game actions. So it's not that good to do on camera because it can absolutely have like a 10-minute turn of me just like fiddling with floating mana. It's the Nadu problem. Ooh, nice Lunark. Lunark or Luminous. Alright, so Gix's command. Ygra is going to have its counters reset, but I think that's totally worth it. Move my commander to the command zone. Decline. Comes back tapped. We draw another card. Everybody's food. Food. Pippin! You want to have a snack? I had a very funny game where Pippin was actually just consuming everybody on the battlefield. He was just so hungry. Get rid of their Death Toucher. That's going to make Ygra grow. Play this Murderous Rider. Draw a card. Ooh, Bitter Blossom. Can't play it this turn, but that's alright. And swing in with Ygra. Yeah, sometimes if you just want to, like, get a ton more damage, like, you could sacrifice 1, 2, 3 of these to get 6 more counters on Ygra. Also draw a card, but I wouldn't do it right here. Something, something, Soylent Green is people. Soylent Green is Pippins. What ability does he have? He could sacrifice 3 food to draw a card. Food, food, food. Like, if I got board wiped here, you know what I'm doing? I'm eating my creatures. Soylent Green is hobbits. Oh no. I'm gonna animate my Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Swinging with everything but this 1/1 human. I'll exile the Lunark Veteran since it can be played from graveyard. I wonder if they got like a Farewell as the card they tutored for. Since they certainly could have it in the deck. Played a land. Mystery card. What did you tutor for, Amalia? Nope, they're playing the Blight Priest here. If I have to eat my board, we get to pull a... Oh my god. Eat everyone. Pippin's gonna eat everyone! So they can't take damage. They don't exist right now. Reanimate. I really want that, actually. I'm going to sacrifice 3 foods. 1, 2, 3. To draw that Reanimate. Ygra gets dummy thick. Ignore that Pippin just ate an actual human. It's normal. It's really regular. I mean, if they have a Blight Priest in hand, I was gonna say it could be Exquisite Blood. So now what they need to do is they need to cause me to lose life. Or they need to gain life. These both work. Is there anything I can do in response to this? I can try and kill one of these. So I'm going to start by sacrificing these creatures. Actual cannibal Peregrine Took. Oof, if only we had it in play. So this is going to kick off a combo. But unfortunately, I did not draw either artifact or enchantment removal. And it's going to drain us out one by one, by one, by one, by one. It's also going to hold priority since we have activatable abilities. Here. Now will it stop? Nope. Just keeps asking. It's asking, hey, do you want to eat him? Yeah, I'll eat him. There we go. And now it should auto-resolve. Good game, Amalia. Such exquisite blood. This also works with Veto, by the way. You can do this with Veto. You can do it with the Exquisite Blood. And there's also, is it Sanguine Bond that does the same thing? Yeah, I think it's Sanguine Bond is the enchantment that has the same text as Veto. At least Arena auto-resolves this. Love that for us. It goes a little faster. GG, Amalia. Wait. And almost there. There we go. Head. Chatterfang, Squirrel General. A token sacrifice commander that makes squirrels whenever you make a token. I have kind of awkward mana here. I can play this on turn 1, get this out on turn 2. Could be worse. I'll still keep it. I have this Accursed Marauder, but like, we're both going to have many sacrificable things. I actually think that the strategies of these two decks are fairly similar, but once Ygra gets out, she'll be growing as Chatterfang sacrifices things. In fact, they may actually have Ygra in their deck. I would consider putting Ygra into a Chatterfang deck. I also upgraded my Chatterfang deck, so please do expect to see in Brawl Stars with Chatterfang with some updates soon. Like this Chatterfang artwork. Yeah, this is the Imagine Critters. So this is what Chatterfang would look like if he were on Bloomburrow. Which he's not. He's not from Bloomburrow. Hello. Oh, they're mulliganing. They're mulling and mulling and mulling and mulling. So he looks like a squirrel. He's wearing more clothes. And he's got the this little like spine thing along the tail that a lot of those squirrels have. A food token. We make food token. Okay, I got a third land. I'm happy about that. Shadow Spear to give Ygra trample and lifelink. And get rid of Indestructible. Because there's probably a Toski in that deck. Why'd you eat your food? That could have been a delicious snack for later. I'm just gonna rush out Ygra then. If you don't have any food to sacrifice, then like, Ygra is well protected here. Hello? Hey! I got a Dark Ritual. Do you have anything for your squirrel? Yeah, this word sacrifice of food, like, you need to have food to sacrifice. You got rid of your food. Alright, so here's Chatterfang. Chatterfang is a food. Chatterfang is also deliciously sacrificable here. So we're going to sacrifice the Marauder. They're going to sacrifice Chatterfang. We also have the Season of Gathering with 1 more mana, which is very fun because it destroys all creatures except Ygra. It would also destroy these, but that's fine with me. And we make our life total go up. We're saying nice. Thanks. Yeah, I like putting Shatterfang in Camellia, but I don't think Camellia goes in Shatterfang unless you have a food sub-theme. Like, we have Camellia in this deck because we can do little combos with it. Ooh, Scavenger's Hunt. Maybe they do have a food sub-theme. That works out well for them. Sure. Meagle. I could use Mirex to make a little token. Nadier's Nightblade is dead. They get a food token. And since they have a food token, they can sacrifice a food to hit Ygra. But Ygra's already got a bunch of counters, and that counted as sacrificing a food, so Ygra's still very, very big here. A 12/12. And if we want to, we could scooch the Shadow Spear off and then back onto it to give the abilities back. Ashnod's Altar. I think that's just going to be game. I don't need to scooch anything around. We can just swing in and end it with our big old kitty cat. Samut, Vizier of Noctamun, rewards you for having hasty creatures or creatures that entered the battlefield on this turn, because if they hit your opponent, you get to draw a card. Samut, Vizier of Noctamun is also a 3-mana 2/3 with First Strike, Vigilance, and Haste, oftentimes drawing a card on its own first attack. I have some ramp here, which I like to see, some turn 1, so we can maybe get Ygra down a little earlier. Also, we just have a little guy. A little blocker, maybe. There could be some hasty food. And I could have some hasty food. Fervent Champion! And that's got haste. Time Bamboo Groves. Go get him. Blood for blood. Eye for an eye. I'll have this Binding the Old Gods next turn. Which I'll probably use mostly just to get ramp. It is Javier. I could play the Experimental Confectioner since it should be able to block Samut. Or I could try to get the ramping in. I'm gonna go for the ramping because I have Season of Gathering in hand. I'll hit their ramp. Season of Gathering is a board wipe and a ton of card draw with Ygra. So if we can go like turn 5 Ygra into turn 6 Season, that would be very, very strong, especially if they get a bunch of other creatures in play. I'm gonna chump block Samut just to deny them the card draw. Also save me 2 damage. Oh, Fade from History. We actually have now 2 ways to do this. Grab our Surveil land, Surveil, see what's on top. It is a Reclamation Sage, put that in the graveyard. I want a land. I will play the Experimental Confectioner as just a blocker. Though the Experimental Confectioner is part of an infinite loop with Ygra. Ygra, a sacrifice outlet, a repeatable one, and any sort of drain will just make a huge Ygra and drain our opponent. Alright, Warcrafting. They deal 2 excess damage, so they get access to this mountain. Nice, you got card advantage. Belmont Courier. That will draw them a card. My 0 creatures all get Death Touch. And here comes Ygra, Eater of All. Hello, you are food, and you are food. Would you like to be consumed? The Goblin and Archimage. Yes, play more creatures, please. The more creatures they play this turn, the better for me. That's a creature. It's a food. Oh my god, look at how many types it has. It's a basic snow, land, artifact creature, forest, fractal, food. You know what else it is? Delicious. Fate from History is going to give both of us a bear and then destroy those bears, which means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, they're all gone. They're all gone. How big is Ygra? Is she big enough to just win? Make my kitten. Bro, she's getting plus 16, plus 16. 1 off from lethal. Meouch. And by the way, we could do it again with 1 more land. Or we could just give Ygra trample. Ygra's very untouchable for a Gruul deck here too, since they would need another creature and a way to kill it. And it's got a super high toughness, which these colors are not that good at dealing with. What if I draw 22? I would really like to draw 22. I would really like to draw 22. Yeah, they're just like looking at Ygra like, I don't... Why does... You got a Chaos Warp? You're gonna need a food if you want to Chaos Warp this cat. Beast! The Oddity! You could eat it. You could eat your Uvenwald Oddity. You could block with it. They're just showing me what they had. They had a Frostbite. Well, Frostbite not gonna be enough to get through this. GG, Samut. The Scarab God. A reanimating zombie guy. Well, he himself is not a zombie, but he makes zombies. Spending 4 mana to make a copy of any creature in the graveyard, exiling it, and getting it as a 4/4 token. Scarab God oftentimes is unfortunately just kind of a control deck, but it could also be a really fun thing to match up against. I think I'm going to start with the Priest of Forgotten Gods. We're going to be sacrificing things. They'll be able to reanimate it. And if they happen to be a zombie deck rather than just a Dimir control deck, we could have some fun making them deal with our threats. Alright, so far they're just ramping. They're ramping. They're ramping. Kitten cats! Verdant Catacombs. Catacombs. We have a lot of cat stuff in this deck. There's my Chalkland. There it is, right in the middle. A teeny tiny hobbit to stop any pesky counter spells from my legends. Delicious zombie snacks. Zombie snacks. What if I have any flesh bag marauders? We love a good flesh bag. Do you mind? They're just ramping. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Dimir commanders that play best as Dimir control, like Xanathar too, even though they have their own themes. Alright, so they ramp, Palantir. Okay, I'll mill. I should also mention that because of the cycle of gods this is from, if I kill it and it is not exiled, it goes back into their hand. I lose life. Okay, that's counterspell. They're totally just Dimir control. That's fine with me. Ooh, Cat Oven! We love Cat Oven here. They may not have any creatures yet. I'm trying to decide if I want to do this here. Yeah, I'm going to do it on this turn. Meow, meow. Let me see what's on top first. Pest Infestation. Ooh. Ygra. Yeah, Pest Infestation would be really good to destroy this, this, and this. And maybe they're Scarab God if they play Scarab God. Though we'll probably just make them sacrifice it. experimental augury. They are going to proliferate their Palantir so they look at more cards. But it looks like they're maybe not playing Scarab God this turn. They might be looking for a board wipe, too. You can tell they're running Blood on the Snow because of the Snowlands, which I think is a proper card to be running. I considered it for this deck, too. Hello, yes. Would you like to cast a spell? You can't kill Ygra with anything targeted, unless it's uncounterable. Because that ward. We love a good ward. Oh, they can't get through here. That's great for us, because we're going to make a ton of pests, sacrifice them, and maybe start kicking off this experimental confectioner to make even more creatures. GG! Davriel Soul Broker. This is the Davriel that has some nasty offers and conditions. This -2 ability is sometimes game-breakingly good. Sometimes it's also just fine. I only have 2 lands in his hand, but I kept this anyway because it is a turn 1 Thoughtseize, and I gotta seize. What kind of thoughts they're running in this? Wow, okay, so they have removal, and Winter Frickin' Moon. I only have 1 basic right now, so so many ways for them to kill my beautiful creatures. I'm still gonna hit the Winter Moon. It's one of those cards where, like, just having to deal with it, it would take the whole Tear Asunder, and I'd rather have the Tear Asunder available for Cruelty of Gex. Now, sometimes it's got Aether Flux, some card draw. That -2 can get you the whenever you draw a card, gain 2 life, Sheoldred type ability. Oh, okay. They're doing a Collective Brutality. Dropping Tear Asunder? Wonder why Tear Asunder? Jadar is thankfully protected from the Triumph. Not protected by the Eliminate, or from the Eliminate, though. Okay, Arcane Signet. I assume you're just gonna eliminate Jadar. Blood Artist, just keeping creatures on the battlefield. Oh, wait, was Tear Asunder the only legal choice? Oh, because it's only instants or sorceries. It's not non-creature. Yeah, I was like, why didn't they go for Binding? It's because it had to be instant or sorcery. That makes sense. So hopefully we get a land so we can start playing our other spells. Hi, Davriel. You get a -2. Hopefully he doesn't get the, like, spells cost black less. That one's always so tough. How's Ygra? Sometimes very explosive. I'd love to play Ygra against more tokens decks to see, like, how well Ygra grows without me just, like, destroying everything. I think I'm going to play the Warren Soul Trader, put full control mode on, so I can kill Davriel in response to this trigger. We sacrifice the zombie, or just, like, after cell combat damage. Great. That gets me a treasure. They're saying goodbye. This cannot sacrifice itself. And since we know they have the Triumph, we definitely don't want to be sacrificing this Blood Artist. We want to make sure we still have more creatures in play. Alright. Use that up. Person sure does have removal. Now, do I think they have another Edict? Always a chance. I'm going to start with this Binding the Old God rather than playing Ygra here. So I can get a little bit more ramp. I can grab the Surveil land. That'll give me extra information. Oh, and we're getting raided by Spice! Hello, Spice! Spice, you got here just in time to watch me get bullied by a businessman. Ooh, Grief's probably exactly what we're gonna be wanting here. Ygra! My big old kitty cat. Get him. Get him! Spice got let down by the moose? What, in limited? No, the moose is the best card in limited. According to me and only me. That's my favorite uncommon of the set. Some of the classes are really fun, but like, get loose with the moose.
My contracts are like good tea.
He let you down? I'm so sorry, Spice. Spice does hate when businessmen bully people. Alright, they got the spells cost black less. Ygra has death touch. I really want to see what they have in hand. Show me your secrets. Ugh, good grief, you're both annoying. I'm gonna hit the breach. And then I'm going to kill Davriel. And because Davriel has discounted his own cost here, he's gonna be coming back soon. We're going into the breach. Can they cast both sides of this here? Yeah, off 7 mana, they totally can. Because it only costs 1 for the Scorn and then 6 for the Virtue. So you should kill Pippin. Kill Pippin. Kill Pippin. Unless you really want to reanimate Grief, which actually, yeah, it's a good card. No, they didn't bother. Fool of a Took. That's right. Reclamation Sage is gonna wreck ya! I mean, it would have done it anyway, but it's even worse now. Maybe they just didn't want Ygra to get bigger? Nah, that's silly. GG. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. As always, if you're looking for the deck list, it's in the description of the video. And if you want to come check out my videos on Twitch while we recorded them live, twitch.tv/Amazonian. I stream almost every single day. I typically don't stream on Tuesdays, but it's a great place to come and hang out. This deck is pretty sweet. Ygra, Eater of All, is good against creatures because we destroy them and Ygra gets big, and good against decks that don't have a lot of creatures because Ygra is able to just survive things by making itself untargetable. That sacrifice of food ward is a real tricky thing to deal with if your opponent's not running creatures or things that make many creature tokens. Ygra is also, you know, nuts with Fade from History and Season of Gathering. As you saw in this video, you can get a lot of wins out of nowhere by destroying everything in play and making Ygra huge. You can also do similar things with Meat Hook Massacre or Toxic Deluge, just killing everything that's smaller than Ygra, or maybe giving Ygra some trample so you can swing in for a big kitty cat. I really enjoy the Golgari Sacrifice archetype, and I think that it's a pretty strong one in Arena, so definitely the sort of thing that I enjoy playing that I think plays very well. Thank you so much for watching, and have a brawlful day!